First, it started coming on the news. Some disease was spreading in China, not here. I paid little attention, just another news story. Then my sister called, said my mother was sick. She'd been sick, but no one knew. It was a secret story. Her story, not our story. Oh, she used to say that with all her secrets. We'd beg to know about her life, and the answer was always the same. It's not your story. That's why she didn't tell us she was sick. We would have co-opted her story, written ourselves into her script, pushed ourselves into scenes that she wanted only two characters in. She liked it when it was only her and my father alone. We were extras, not main characters. We were never the leads. But when my sister called, we did exactly what my mother thought and came to her side, and we stayed there for 2 weeks. She'd been battling metastatic breast cancer for 5 years without telling a soul other than my father, her soulmate. Cancer had spread from breast and bones into her liver. And it was also discovered in her brain. Watched her story end, the loop closed. In that time, the news cycle went from water cooler small talk to not being able to talk about anything else. By the time my mother slipped from this world into the next, everyone I knew would become hypochondriacs, afraid to leave the house, or fighting with strangers on neighborhood walks. Stand back, stay away, give me space. Mother died, I was screaming, crying uncontrollably, my head face down in my hands, crouched to the floor, squatting. Hospice lowered the temperature in the room so her body would stay cold for the funeral home workers to take her at 6 p.m. They didn't come until 8 p.m., and we stayed the entire day just sitting with her dead body, watching her face change. Softened after a few hours, it relaxed. My father said, "Take a picture." He said, "Take a picture of her dead face." So I did. Sometimes I look at that picture on my phone and it looks like she's sleeping, except her nose is spread wide with flared nostrils. And I don't know the mechanics of death, but the picture seems like she's younger than she was, and her flared nostrils appear that she's breathing in. When you take a deep breath sometimes. It was just one of the things that happened. Reminds me of what she said the day before. She said something to me on the phone. As I drove fast and then faster, the 6-hour drive felt like an eternity. I couldn't get to her fast enough. My sister told me, "Mom wants to tell you something, so stop talking. It's hard for her to talk. You have to listen carefully." So I stopped talking nonsense. The weather is clear. What a nice drive. I stopped all that. But when I stopped talking, I heard her say to me, "I can't breathe." And it was the last thing she'd ever say to me. I hear it in my head playing over and over again. I hear that faint, desperate voice struggling for air, and I see her soft olive skin when I close my eyes, when I'm putting on my clothes in the morning, when I'm driving in my car. I promised her I was on my way. I was coming to her as fast as I could travel. I sped up. I went faster down the stretches of endless highway, weaving in and out of cars along 2-lane mountain roads. I zipped past rest stops, forcing my bladder to stay full because all I wanted was to get to my mom and be by her side, sing a Jewish prayer for healing, and tell her I'm sorry for every stupid thing I did as a kid and as an adult, and thank her for never giving up on me, even when I wanted to give up on myself. I was there when she died, crouched on my knees and howling tears of regret and anger and mourning. Cold to keep her body there. And in a selfish moment, I felt brave. A grown woman, but a young girl too, motherless now. A split second, I asked myself, now that there are no expectations for who you should be, you want to be. Now, only now, have I written myself into the start of my own story. So let us begin again.